everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and today we are going to do a budget with me. So this budget with me is going to look a little different than my previous videos. So we had a family member pass away recently. My husband lost his grandmother on June 1st. It was 4 days before we were going to fly out and see her, and it was 5 days before her 94th birthday. So we have been grieving the loss of her, and I don't even really like to say that because we are sad that she's not here, but we're also rejoicing that she is in a better place and she's been reunited with the love of her life and her 2 sons who passed away before her. So it did take us a moment to be at peace with it, but we're in a much better place now. So my husband flew out with his mom to go to New Mexico, and I actually stayed behind with the baby. So our finances are going to look a little differently than we had previously budgeted, and I'm not at a place to do the same budget with me as I've done before. So I'm kind of using this as an opportunity to show y'all basically what I do when, life happens, and, instead of us just giving up and throwing in the towel for the month of June, I'm just going to sit down with y'all and basically reflect on what we have been doing. So let's get started. So this is actually a spiral I have been using since 2020, and I haven't been using it recently since I've got more into budgeting. I like, the pre-printed and, just the budget laid out for you. But this is a great starting point, and I thought we would just take a moment to look in this spiral. So this is probably from 2020, and so I basically just got a spiral notebook and wrote out my paychecks and budgeted all my bills. So I was tracking, paying off credit cards, and I had my SoFi loan, which was a consolidation loan for all my credit cards. I still had my student loans. And this page I had marked is actually a look at my debts from back then. So we had $67,000 worth of debt. I took out a consolidation loan, and my credit cards were still too high to consolidate into one. So I still had credit cards I was paying on plus a loan. I had medical bills, and then I had student loans. So this is how far we have come from 2020. And so this all is 100% paid off. So it is nice looking back on this because it can keep you motivated to the goals you're still working on. So I just thought that would be cool to share right quick before we get started. So I am just going to go back here, and my son has gotten into this notebook clearly. I am just going to go back here and try to find a blank piece of paper, and we are going to just do some manual math, I guess. Well, I still have my computer next to me, so I will be using a calculator somewhat, but I'm going to be doing it in a not so pretty written out form. So for the month of June, I am still planning And I'm gonna date this, so June, that way if I ever come back to it, I can reflect on it. But June 2024, I am still anticipating on getting $7,050. So I haven't received any paychecks in June yet. So my first payday is this Friday. And so I have 2 checks coming, and then my husband actually got, he should be receiving a full check. He should have some bereavement, and then he did actually have some PTO. So he has been with his job for 6 months, and so that did kick in. So I am anticipating on him receiving a full check. And then this does include some cashback rewards. So for the rest of June, I have about $1,932 for bills left. So this is going to include our tithe, and then we have our Frontier, Netflix, Comp International, and truck payment due. And then this is also budgeting for our first 2 bills that are due in July on the 1st and the 3rd, which is our AT&T and State Farm. So I still don't have a AT&T bill, so I just budgeted $175. And then for State Farm, it's increasing again. Oh my goodness. Oh, don't get me started on that. So State Farm is increasing, and so for the rest of our bills, we need $1,932. So I'm going to subtract that from our income, and that leaves us $5,118 left. So we have done some spending on the credit cards. So I do not recommend spending on credit cards if you do not have the ability to pay it off by the end of the month. But my husband was in New Mexico. I was here. I also have a work trip coming up at the end of June, and so I did go and buy myself some clothes. And so we have racked up some expenses on the credit card. So we are going to need to pay off $1,886. So this number is high. It's a little overwhelming, but I'm giving myself some grace because I really have not bought myself any nice clothes in like 4 years. So I'm just chucking it up to, I'm kind of, making up for those 4 years. I typically do not buy or spend money on clothes, so I do not foresee this becoming a habit or even a monthly reoccurrence. This is just for me to go on my work trip and, just spend a little money on myself. So, and it was not this full $1,800, just so you know. But you will see in our May recap, basically how we break this out. But right now I have it as a lump sum. And so we are going to want to take that from our remaining income, and that gives us $3,232 left. Now I want to prioritize savings next. So first and foremost, I had used some of our Christmas money to do our first cash stuffing, and so I want to replenish that out. We only have to pay back $200. The rest is already in our savings account, and so that's good. We did not touch that money. For our house down payment or our 10K savings challenge, I would like to save $820. We have not saved for the month of June, so this includes the total amount for the month. For our two auto save, two auto drafts, that's going to be $200. And then I want to put towards sinking funds another $836. If I can do that, we will have saved $10,000 from January to June, and that does include our money towards the house down payment. So between the house down payment and our sinking funds, we will have reached $10,000. So this is a goal. This is a strong goal. But in the event we overspend some more, we will have to take from this. But I am going to try really hard to keep us in budget for that. So for our total savings, that's another $2,056. And if we take that from our $32.32, we're left with $1,176. So now comes our variable spending. We're going to have food, dining out, gas, household, so for food, I am going to budget $360. We still have 3 weeks left, so this should be plenty. Plus, when I am on my work trip at the end of June, all of my eating expenses will be put on my company card, and so this should be enough for us for the next 2 weeks, plus my husband to have a grocery budget for while I'm gone. Dining out, I'm going to budget $150. I hope we don't spend any more money eating out, but it is our problem area, and so I'm just going to leave it in the budget. So gas, my husband should be able to only use 2 more tanks, so I'm going to put $150 for the rest of the month, and I'm hoping that will work. He usually has to fill up every 10 days, so if he were to go tomorrow, he should still be able to finish the month out onto 2 more fills. So I'm hoping $150 is enough. So part of this credit card spending actually included our household items. So we did just replenish our Kleenex, paper towels, paper plates, toilet paper. So I do not foresee us needing much more for household, but I am going to go ahead and budget another $100 just in case. So, oh, and then I have 2 subscriptions, plus we have Father's Day. So I had originally put $116, and that may not be enough because we are probably going to cook out at my sister's, and so we're going to have to probably get some additional food for that. So this may increase. I'm going to leave it for now because this should be more than enough, and so hopefully it will be good. Again, if we cannot stay within this budget, it's going to come out of our savings. So, and then another kicker. So I am hoping to be able to get my nails and toes done. I have not been in 4 years. I don't know what the cost is these days. I'm budgeting $150 for towards the end of June, and I'm hoping that will be enough. You know, I'm probably just gonna do like a basic color. Shouldn't be too expensive, but again, I haven't been in 4 years, and so I have no idea what the prices have changed. So these, in case you're wondering, are actually press-ons, and so these are only about $7 to $9 depending on where you get them. You can get them on Amazon, you can buy them directly from their website. This is the Impress press-on nails. But for my work trip, I would like to get my nails actually done, just because I don't want any popping off. So, and then my hair. So I have not gotten my hair done in 4 years either. 4 or 5. Like, I stopped doing most of this stuff when I started my debt-free journey. So I cut all of my beauty stuff out of my budget because I didn't want to pay for it. I wanted all of my money going towards debt. And so now that I am going on a business trip, I would kind of like to do this for myself. And so it's like a one-time thing. I probably will not, you know, keep these going or do these monthly. For my hair, I just want an all-over color and a cut. I'm not trying to do anything fancy at this point. Maybe down the line, but really I just prefer just a solid color. So I am hoping $150 will be enough to budget that also. If it's not, then I may take this out, you know. It's not a dire need, so I'm shopping around for these two. But in the event I do, I want to go ahead and budget some money for it. So adding these all up for our variable spending should be what we had remaining, the $1176, and that should give us our zero-based budget. So I just wanted to get my budget on paper to see where I'm at. I pulled our credit card statements and I wanted to make sure we would have these paid off by the end of the month. And so first and foremost, I paid our bills and our credit cards, and then again, it's a goal for me to prioritize our savings before our variable spending. But this month, you know, life kind of handed us a new cup, and so if we have to start this next month, then I'm okay with it. So this is kind of just a reflection of, you know, not throwing in the towel just because we did overspend already and just continue spending. This is allowing me to have a visual, you know, look at the goals I still would like to see happen in the month of June and not just completely throw in the towel. So I hope this encourages y'all that, you know, if you have a high spending month, that you don't let it get you down. Just go back and reflect on your goals and what your priorities are and keep working towards them. I'm trying to keep myself from self-sabotaging because I have already overspent. I've just given myself a new goal and a new vision for the month of June. In July, we start a fresh month where I will hope to save more. So I had originally wanted to save, I believe, about $2,500 this month, and that's not going to happen, but I am okay with it. So thank y'all for watching this video. It's a bit longer than usual, and I will be back next week for our cash stuffing. So thank y'all for y'all's patience, and hopefully y'all still enjoyed this video even though it's not like my typical ones. So y'all have a great week and I will see you in the next one. Bye.